Greetings, Bull fans. We are back here at Griff's Billiards in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's the WPA Players Championship, and it's all brought to you by the Whirlpool Billiard Association, WPA, and CSI, CueSports International. Now it's time for our second semifinal. It's a race to 9, alternate break. The winner moves on to the finals just after this, and of course the loser is out. So now, let's meet the players. Firstly, he's the 2017 World 9-Ball Champion from the Philippines, Carlo Biado. And his opponent from Taiwan, would you please welcome Yulong Chang. Gentlemen, let's lay.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is our 2 p.m. final semi-final match. Got Yulong Chang versus Carlo Biado. I'm joined in the booth by the legendary Carl, Box Office Boys. Carl, how are you today, pal?
I'm good. Looking forward to this matchup. Two big hitters, Chang Yulong, Carlo Biado.
Chang, the only one left in the event who earned his spot via qualifiers. We had 48 players that were invited by the WPA and member federations. 16 players qualified for this event. Chang was one of those 16 not invited but did qualify. This is a race to 9, win by 2. Should we end up tied at 11 racks apiece, there will be a 1-rack decider with a lag to determine who breaks. There's a 3-point rule in effect for the break shot. 3 balls must either be pocketed and or cross the head string. Any combination of the two is fine. Referee John Lehman presiding over this match. Will be handling the racking responsibilities as well, giving these players the white glove treatment. Our qualifying rounds were single elimination races to 5. Stage 2, up until the semifinals, were races to 7, win by 2. The semifinals and the finals are a race to 9, win by 2.
John's taking his time on this rack.
The 9-ball does count as a win in all 6 pockets on the break. As you can see across the top of your screen, some of our sponsors, we will touch on them in a little bit and throughout the course of the match.
Not so sure about this referee racking after players racking the balls, to be fair.
Can't help but notice that we've got an all Filipino Chinese Taipei semifinals here. We saw Filipino go down in semifinal number 1, Johan Chua, defeated by Kevin Chang. Carlo Biado has won the lag here in our second semifinal match. The winner of this, as we heard Ted Lerner say, will go on to play the finals. The loser still leaves with $5,000. Folks, the finals of this event will actually be held at 6 p.m. Not 4 p.m. our time. At 4 o'clock, we will have the finals of our consolation event. And that will be taking place. That's Niels Fyen and, give me a sec, I just lost track. Thank you, Thorsten Homan. Niels Fyen and Thorsten Homan will be facing off here at 4 o'clock for the finals of the consolation event.
Intrigued to see Carlo playing the hard break there. I do believe that's because he's not racking the balls, so he isn't able to get the balls set up exactly how he wants. So that's an interesting little thing to watch.
A little bit of a different dynamic when someone else is racking for you, isn't it, Carl?
Yeah, and we've seen him being very successful with this slow cut break. Nice safety shot though.
Excellent shot there. So Chang's first shot is no bargain. Sets down the playing cue, grabs the jump cue. We're going airborne, folks.
Cue ball does look awful close to that 7, but probably helps he's jumping over the edge of it, not full ball. Needs a contact, it's coming back down table. But he's not left a pot. It's not his best safety shot he's ever played. A lot short of pace there. Trying to get cue ball up on the top rail, so he's got the 8 and the light blue 7 ball to get behind. Is there a possible exhibition shot on there? He's just looking off the edge of the green 6th to possibly make it in the side. It's not a bad option. Keep an eye on this 1 ball.
Cue ball. Cue ball finds some coverage, I believe.
Held his hand up.
Kind of acknowledging to Carlo that he realizes he got a little bit fortunate there. Kind of half of an apology, just acknowledging.
Carlo's going airborne now. He's trying to hit the edge of this 1 ball. Send it off a couple of rails. Down the bottom end of the table. Needs some help though. And he's left this, I think. Yeah, it was very difficult to control the 1 ball. In order to get the cue ball back up, 1 ball was flying at pace, needed to contact another ball. So Chang, this is an opportunity.
First open look we've seen here. See if Chang can run these up. Nice little stun draw out of that corner there. Position on the 3 to the lower left.
Positional error there from Chang. Tried to miss the 4 ball. Cue ball went a little near the pocket. That's what caused him to hit the 4. So now he's got to come with a good shot here. I think he can still make it in left side and draw off the bottom rail back out up into open play. Oh, he's played it with opposite side and spun round, so nice shot.
And that was pretty creative to work around the 9 rather than try to check that cue ball up in front of it. He kind of let it naturally travel. Nicely struck there. Play the 4 or the 8 right across naturally into the side pocket. I imagine he'll roll this ball forward, but he could also draw, as he has opted to do, to the short side of the 9. Kind of increases positional difficulty a little bit, but he's okay.
Yeah, this is thinner than it kind of looks on TV, so centre pocket though.
Handles it nicely.
First blood, Chang Yulong. Of course, if Chang wins this match, it will be an all Taiwanese final.
Folks, we are coming to you live from Griff's Billiards here in beautiful Las Vegas. That lovely 4.5 by 9 foot table you see, provided by Diamond Billiard Products. Across the room, that's what we've been using for this whole tournament. And the green Andy 988 billiard cloth. We are using the new Cyclop Hyperion pool balls. We'll get a couple looks at those object balls throughout the set. The 9 ball's fairly unique. Pretty cool looking. Players seem to enjoy them. Master Chalk, Predator Cues, How Tips. I'm going to say thank you to them as well. This event has been produced by CSI and brought to you by the WPA, the World Pool Billiard Association. Rack number 2, Chang to break. Chang has already broken serve. So early on, things in Chang's favor. We still have a long way to go, folks.
Parks the cue ball. No friends.
So it's decision time for Chang. Safety is not, I don't see an extremely easy safety. He could obviously create some separation, but I think he should go for this. I think he should go for the thin cut to the lower right as you're looking at the screen.
That is very thin.
It's not a shot you would ideally want to take on, but there isn't an easy safety on offer that I can see anyhow.
He could get cue ball in behind 9, but he needs a good 1 ball.
You called it.
How's the pace? How's the line? It has to be said. It's
Wow.
phenomenal. That was the problem, though. If you don't get behind the 9, look where the 1 ball was. But he judged it
Phenomenally. So Carlo's got problems here early on in rack number 2. Chang locked him up. Carlo knows he can't turn over ball in hand here. Let's see what the Black Tiger can come up with.
Can he swerve round? Yeah, because I think he needs to hit a little bit higher than where he can actually see on this side rail. So he might have to swerve it round a little bit. Oh, that's adventurous.
Is he jumping it?
That is adventurous. I think can he not swerve round this 9?
To the right side.
Yeah, just swerve round, and then obviously because he needs to hit higher up the rail than he can physically see. But there is a gap there, so it looks like he can get into it. Maybe the problem is it's not, you know, what's going to happen after hitting it. Yeah, there is a small chance he could pot this one ball. Well, what he's playing here.
I think he's going 2 rails. Trying to hit similar to that spot you're referring right about there. You were referring to with the swerve.
Yeah.
I think he's going to use the foot rail to get into that line rather than.
Well, where he's aiming here, he's going to have to really draw this ball and square this up, because he's nowhere near on that line. So it's really got to get into the rail and create a different angle. There you see it. You could see it bite. I bet he's shocked how much he's got that to bite there.
I think if anything, you would have expected it to come to the other side of the one. So he dug into it pretty good.
Yeah, he did.
A little too much.
But it has to be said, it was a great safety shot from Chang, and it created chance number 2 in 2 racks. This is where Chang Yulong, for me, comes into his own. His cue ball always seems to land on the right side, and you know, that's an art in itself, because it makes the next shot a lot easier. Have I just cursed him? A tiny bit. Thought he'd have gone 2 rails there and played below the 5. He's very good at this type of shot, though. We've said this before.
Yeah, he handles that back and forth, side rail to side rail really well.
I mean,
As you
look
can
at this.
see.
This is perfect, isn't it?
Is he going to do something a little fancy with the cue ball, Carl, or does he play the 5-9? He's looking at that 5-9 right now.
Well, it's very easy just to dolly this in, isn't it, and land below the 6 for the 5-9. Stretching, so rolling this in is the easiest option. Has he missed the 4 though? No, it fell in. And he's got pretty good on this, hasn't he? So he's made this into a kind of a gimme from there. 2-0, Chang Yulong.
Folks, as we were saying, immediately following this match, we will have the finals of the consolation event. We will have the Terminator, Niels Feyen, versus the Hitman, Thorsten Homan. Those two will be battling it out in our consolation event finals. First place in that event, $1,500. Second place is $1,000. Stage 2, what we're watching here right now, first place in this event is $10,000. There's a $2,500 difference between first and second place. For all you math majors, that's a $7,500 payout for second place. The loser of this match here leaves with a nice $5,000 payday. Pretty good little warm-up for anything that may be coming here in the future as far as pool events. There's a lot going on in this town for pool.
As we touched on before, Biado, is he going to try this soft cut break?
Keep our eye on the 3 ball here. There it is.
Yes, and what a difference this is, you see. And this is caused by Carlo not being able to rack the balls. What you can see. He's made that wing ball time and time again when he's been able to rack the balls.
We're going to see Chang play a bit of a lock-up safety here. Well, he's got blockers, but he's got a fairly routine escape for Biado to at least hit the ball. Now where it lands after that, the pool gods will decide. Very tough to predict exactly how he wants to play this.
He's looking at 3 rails, isn't he? Coming up behind the one. If he can hit it full, cue ball could stay around the blue and the purple, but I was just about to say this is not easy. Much easier going off the 1 rail, but he felt like going off 3, he had more chance of getting it safe, but I'm not so sure if you just get a good hit there at 2-0 down and see what happens. But the break shot's probably frustrating him a little bit, isn't it?
I would imagine, yeah. He's, like we saw yesterday, his break was working really well. He's racking for himself. Through our semifinals and our finals, the referee will be handling the racking duties. Look at this. I think he might just be okay. He got a little closer to that 7 than he wanted, I assure you.
Yeah, that's not one of his best shots, is it? He's kind of missed the boat there.
That's the 2nd successful safety that has resulted in ball in hand for for Yulong Chang.
So he's playing a little swerve shot, I think. Just bending the cue ball around, and it has to be said, what a mistake this is. Ball in hand.
Grabbed it a little too much on that swerve shot there.
Yeah, he's gifted Biado an opportunity here. The only good thing looking at the table is the 4 ball is kind of tied up, so I'm wondering if he's going to play the 2 ball and try and hit the purple 4 ball or the light blue 7 ball, because he's always going to be on the 3 ball because it's over the pocket. If he doesn't hit one of them, 3 ball to 4 ball can be a bit funky, can't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a bit of value in playing this with a bit of right hand spin, trying to nudge one of them balls full. And let's see what the former world champ decides. He tried it, didn't really hit it with any kind of decent pace though. I thought we were going to just go a little bit harder than that, because you want to get the balls out the way, don't you?
Yeah,
so
thought he'd hit him harder myself. 4 goes in the side, which I'm not so sure it did before, that useful nudge. So as long as he can pocket this 3 and take the cue ball up just above center table, he should be in good line for the 5. He's excuse me, for the 4.
Sorry, mate. That's worked out pretty good, I think, because he can play this in the top. And can he just stun off the right-hand side rail above middle with a bit of spin and come back down for this 5? He can. So he's navigated these last 2 shots well, and it looks like he's going to take this 3rd rack. Chang Had a good opportunity at the start of this, and it was against the Biado break. Cue ball a little close to side rail, but in this instance, it's not the end of the world. But probably going to slightly jack down now. Now he's going to top it.
Go forward, 2 rails in and out of this lower right corner area. Just like that. Watch outside pocket.
Wowzers, I'll tell you what. He has been fortunate there, let me tell you. He didn't want to be going nowhere near this left side rail, did he? But it's all the past, and this 9-ball will get Biado on the board, his first rack.
Chang leading 2-1 for Carlo Biado. Chang will be breaking off in rack number 4. This is day 4 of the WPA Players Championships. This event has $50,000 added to the prize fund. We started out 8 days ago with qualifiers. After 4 days of qualifiers, we had 16 players that were ready to join the 48 players that were already hand-selected by the WPA and member federations to fill a 64-player bracket. About 3.5 days ago now, we started stage 2, 64 players, single elimination. By the end of day 1, we had 32. By the end of day 2, we had 16. By the end of day 3, we had 4 players remaining in our stage 2 main event. We saw Kevin Chang defeat Johan Chua in our first semifinal match this afternoon, I should say. We are watching our second semifinal match right now. Yulong Chang, Chinese Taipei, Taiwan, versus the Black Tiger, the Filipino, Carlo Biado. Loser of this match guaranteed $5K. The winner guaranteed $7,500, trying for that $10,000 first prize.
Just want to touch on Chang's break, because he's going down the middle at pace.
He went down the middle all right.
I do believe he sent the cue ball straight in the middle, so it's a poor break. What I was going to say is, yeah, he's trying to make the wing ball, but because he is hitting them so hard, he has got chances of making other balls. So when somebody else is racking the balls for you, it's not a bad option, is it?
It's a good assessment. Good little tip for those out there.
But it's a funny game, isn't it? He's had ball in hand at 2-0 up. The balls were all sort of sitting there. Plays one lack positional shot.
Fails to get on the second ball.
Yeah, and it could be 2-2. It's unbelievable.
So Carlo with ball in hand here. 7 balls on the table to dispatch of. Playing the 1 in the side, traveling naturally forward for the 2 in the same side upper left corner.
This is just connect the dots, folks. Nothing going on here. If you don't run out here, it's time to go home.
Carlo on the right side of the 5 to just travel naturally down for this 6 ball. Imagine the 6 and 7 would get played in the same pocket. They appear to be the 2 easiest. However, Carlo could opt to play the 7 ball up table. I think given the angle, he has been rewarded here on the 6. 7 ball will be dispatched in the same pocket. We forced that one 2 rails forward, ends up perfect on the 7, and we're about to see a 2-2 matchup. This will be Carlo's break in rack number 5.
Stakes have become a lot higher. There's more money to play for, and you can certainly feel that with the sort of pace of play at the moment. We've had 4 racks in just over 30 minutes.
So both players not playing extremely fast. Both taking their time, being deliberate. We have planned for 2-hour windows on these matches. If it goes over, that's okay. If they end early, that's okay too. Regardless, our next match will be Niels Fine and Thorsten Homan, duking it out for 1st and 2nd place in the consolation event. Both players, unfortunately for them, lost their first match in stage 2. But fortunately for them, the first 32 knocked out had an opportunity and a free entry into a consolation event, which also puts a little bit of cash back in the players' pockets. John Lehman, our head referee, doing all he can to ensure a fair and tight rack for both players.
Taking too long for my liking, though. I won't lie. We'll speak the truth.
Yeah, it can be a little bit frustrating, just kind of sitting there waiting, but at the same time, players, I think, might be a little more frustrated if they're getting poor racks. So it's kind of give and take a little bit, I think. I know with the pace that I break, if the ref takes 20 minutes to rack, that's fine, as long as they're tight, because I'm blasting them. Now, if you opt for, if you're the type that opts to cut break or break a little lighter or has a little bit of different style to your break, to each their own. But for me, I'll switch tables if I can't get a good rack.
Good break off though, pops the cue ball back, and he's been real unfortunate there. It looked like he was going to be on this 1 ball to the side. All of a sudden, the purple 4 comes up and spoils the party.
Got a lot of these players, fans and family and countrymen here supporting them, knowing the stakes are high and we are getting down to the very end. This is our last day. We will have 2 champions, one for the consolation event, one for the main event, the WPA Players Championship winner. We've got some cash prizes and some beautiful trophies on offer for 1st and 2nd place. Carlo's gonna, oh, he cross-banked it. And he made it. Good shot.
Yeah, lovely vision there from the Filipino. Perfect on the 3.
Oh, he hit that really well. That was risky, in my opinion. If he doesn't make that, he potentially sells out the rack. But in making it, he potentially wins the rack. So he could be rewarded for his successful but risky effort.
See Carlo coming round, just he could play a shot here and drop him behind the 5, but
Carl, I turned my head for a moment and your watch nearly blinded me. I don't know how you can lift your arm with all them stones on him, sir. Carl with a beautiful watch back here, folks.
there's a bit of weight in it. Oh, well. Needs a good clean,
It's a good looking piece of jewelry though, my friend.
Oscar Dominguez bought this.
Bought it. Oh, ouch. Oh, I was going to say it as a gift, but I think I realized where you went with that. Oscar, if you're watching.
That was just a small little joke. Relax.
Shout out there, pal. No,
Just relax.
Oscar can take it. Oscar's a great guy. I love Oscar.
So do I. So he's landed a little bit funny here. He might have to play the 9 along the bottom rail. That's why he's got back up. Should be fine, of course, but decided to play it hard and try and make an angle, but it was always running close to the 9. So we've got a change in mood in this match. What looked like it was going to be all Chang Yulong, Biado stuck in there and he's took the lead for the first time.
I'm glad the camera is on the pool table and not on our commentary booth. I'm being made fun of by Mr. Boyes here for my apparel selection today.
If anybody's on my Instagram, I'm going to take a picture now of what my co-commentator is wearing.
Get my socks in there too, pal. We're having a lot of fun here at the WPA Players Championships, folks. We're coming to you live from Griff's here in Las Vegas. Today is Friday, April 19th, 2019. Day 4 of stage 2. Day 8 overall. It's been a fun week full of amazing pool, lots of twists and turns. World champions all over the place.
What time's the wedding, Ben?
What time is the wedding? I showed up with a vest and a tie and a nice collared shirt, got some slacks, and I've got nothing but a hard time for it since I walked in the door. Trying to look good here on the last day of this event, and I'm getting poked at.
This is a familiar story of the match, this. John Lehman taking his time with this rack.
John must have a little bit of a different racking style or technique than some of these players do. Also noticed John did the same thing that Alex Pagulayan did on our feature match with him. He goes for the racking glasses. He's got a pair of glasses that he uses just to help ensure we're not leaving any gaps or slivers between object balls. Chang to break rack 6. Did that yesterday too. Wing ball fires in the hole. 8 ball finds a home. Cue ball nearly did what it did earlier on Chang's first break, I believe, or second break.
Yeah, nearly scratched in the side, didn't he? And if he can pot this one ball, it's going to be really difficult to get on this two. Obviously, Chang will know better than anyone if he can see the potting angle. Well, he's looking at it, so that you can definitely see it, I think. Getting on the two ball. Can he play it plain ball and hit the top rail with left-hand spin, coming round off two, possibly hitting this third rail where he stood? Well, no, that tells us he can't pot it, so he's played safe. It's another good safety shot. We've seen one earlier where he got behind the ball.
Chang and his cue ball control. Cannot say enough about that throughout the last 4 days. His cue ball control on those multi-rail safeties is incredible.
Biado might be playing a jump bank because hitting the right-hand side of the one, you would more than likely scratch, so I don't believe he would be aiming for that. Yeah, he went for jump bank, didn't he? Now he needs this to slow down, otherwise it's going to be over the middle for Chang, and I think it is. All depends on if there's an angle for Chang to come down.
The two, worst case scenario, I think the two may pass the four to the lower left if he doesn't have any angle to get on the other side of the deuce.
Yeah, I think he was looking at the bottom pocket here, isn't he? Is he going to play this long down table and then play for the two in the same pocket? He's missed it, so Chang's kind of got lost here in this match. I'm wondering if the third rack is playing on his mind, but he's a very experienced player, so you know, he knows you've got to just forget things like that. It's the past, you can't do nothing about it now. It was a nice shot, because that was a lot thinner than... Yeah, I feel like it just bounced a bit more off that side rail than... Kind of come off a little bit faster than it went on.
Certainly sprung off there, didn't it?
Then you get a good look at what Biado's faced with. Is he playing safe here? It kind of looks like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, he took a glance over at the six. I think he's trying to make sure the two doesn't collide with the six, fully intending on using the nine as coverage the whole time.
Chang, very, very dangerous with this jump stick. And this is a jump shot he will fancy, because he can hit as good as full ball on the two, so whenever you jump in at the full ball, it's easier than trying to jump onto a thin edge, so this will go close, there's no doubt about it. But he's not made it, and has he got any friends?
No friends down table. Cue ball leaks out past the nine. Leaves Biado an opportunity to cut this to the lower right as you're looking at your screen. Cue ball could just track naturally right up between the 6 and 7, back towards center table. He could also spin this with a little bit of right-hand English if he wants. I think he will just take it naturally right through the middle. That's what he has done. He didn't want that, but he came out smelling like a rose.
Yeah, that's turned out all right, hasn't it? Would have been a little bit unlucky to not have a shot, of course, but he didn't play that, so.
Wow. That ball wiped its feet 2 or 3 times. Sat there and hung out for a second and then decided to join the party. That was almost a costly error for Biado. One thing I've noticed about Carlo, he tends to hold the cue way toward the front of his wrap. I don't know if that's a height thing or a preference thing. The last couple of shots he was, I guess you could say, in baseball we'd say choking up, or in golf, when you choke up on a golf club.
Yeah. So Chang missed an opportunity again. He missed a long one down table, so it's going to be 4-2, Carlo.
Carlo will be breaking, I believe. I believe so. So Carl, let me pick your brain a little bit here. While Mr. Lehman does some racking, maybe we can get a little info on you for the people at home.
Okie dokie.
Let's see here. At what age did you start playing pool? You don't need to say how old you are now or how long you've been playing, but when did you start playing?
There's 2 answers to this question.
Okay, we've got time.
Yeah, we have got time. Answer 1, I started playing English 8-ball when I was 14 and a half.
Okay.
And then I started playing the American version of pool, as we like to call it in the UK, when I was 24, I think I was. Yeah.
Wow. So you were 24 when you started playing this style of pool. How old were you when you made your first Mosconi Cup team?
2010.
Sorry, I might be digging too deep into your brain
No,
here.
not at all. I mean, John will be here for another 5 minutes, so we may as well, you know, cover this. 2000. I was 26. No.
So you'd only
26,
you'd only been playing our form of pool for.
I was at 26. Hold on a minute.
2 or 3, maybe 4 years before you made the Mosconi Cup team. That's very impressive. Yeah, you had some history, with, like you said, with English 8-ball for about 10 years prior to that.
28 I was. 28.
28?
Yeah.
Okay.
28.
That's still amazing to
28.
go from not playing this style of pool to representing your country in the top 5 within a matter of a handful of years. That's
maths is my strong point, as you can tell.
It's deflating to someone like myself who's played this American style of pool for a couple of decades.
Well, obviously I grew up playing English 8-ball, so you kind of form, you know, a cue action. So yeah, I was coming over to a different game, but it wasn't like somebody just gave me a cue and I couldn't hold a cue, you know what I mean?
Now, we may still have time. What's the difference between 8-ball and English 8-ball?
You mean 8-ball?
Our style of 8-ball, yes, like what you would see at...
English 8-ball is played on a table the same size as a bar table.
Mm-hmm.
But the tip you would use is between 8 and 9 millimeter.
Okay.
Because the ball is a lot smaller than...
So the object balls and the cue ball are smaller?
Yes, a lot smaller. And it's a bit like a snooker style table, like a Chinese 8-ball style table with
rounded rather than points.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the balls, I want to say the balls are 2-inch.
Okay, I believe these are either 2 1/4 or 2 1/2. I've drawn a blank at the moment. But
No, they must be smaller then. Maybe they're 1 3/4 then. They're a lot smaller. When you think like, you know, you can play with a 12, 13 millimeter tipper at this game. Well, my English 8-ball cue was 8.5 millimeter.
Wow.
So it's, you know what I mean?
Maybe we can come back to that in a little bit. Carlo Biado breaking off here in rack number 7, leading scoreline of 4-2. Comes up dry on that break.
4-ball comes to the rescue, but again, Carlo's break's not working. That's basically down to him not being able to manufacture the rack how he wants it. So Chang's going for the jump stick. There's a chance this might go off the 5. If he hits the edge of the 5, you would think it's going to go in, but cue ball, it's not going to be ideal on the 2, is it?
No. It goes.
Oh, he's judged the cue ball and everything to perfection there. I thought the cue ball were going to hold up around that area or go a bit high, but he's judged everything lovely there. You just feel like this is a big rack now. Not so much for the match, but just for Chang, because he knows he's missed a couple of chances, and you don't want to let Biado too far in front because he's a monster. So this will just kind of like keep Chang in there and settle him back down, give him a bit of confidence. You've been playing for 2 decades, you said.
I started playing in December of 2000. So it'll be 19 years this December. So almost 20 years.
Well, the first time
I was 15.
The first time I played was the IPT.
Oh, okay.
Remember the IPT,
Yeah.
the 8 ball?
International Pool
That's
Tour, I
why
think.
all the likes of me, Darren, Chris, Jason, Shaw, that's why we actually ended up playing 9 ball because of the IPT.
Okay. Cool.
We all played the IPT, but I was using a converted snooker cue because I didn't really understand these cues, do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So a cue maker in England made, it was actually 11.5 millimeter for the IPT.
What's a standard diameter for a snooker cue? Like, what's a typical?
Most players will probably use anywhere between 9 to 10.
Okay.
But probably like Ronnie O'Sullivan uses probably 9.5, John Higgins 10.
Okay.
So Chang with a great jump shot to open this rack up. You would think he will make this 9 and it'll be 4-3, so it's an important rack for Chang, that.
Chang will be breaking here too in rack number 8.
I remember the IPT with the first one, the first one I played in was in Vegas. It was at the Venetian.
Nice place.
Yeah, and then the second one was in Reno, which is not too far from Vegas, right?
Now about, I don't know, 8 hours north or so.
Oh yeah, actually now you mention it. I remember it was a crazy long drive.
Just hop on a plane. No time. I remember when I used to fly out here from Arizona, the plane would never even got up very high. You're going up, and then all of a sudden you're going down. You're in the air less than an hour,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you're in a whole other state. How long of a flight home is it for you?
It was 10 hours direct here, so not too bad.
Not bad. I've never been on a flight that long. I've never left the country.
It's torture, pal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stuck there, aren't you, watching the clock?
Probably best to stay up all night the night before. Try to get some sleep on that flight.
So John Lehman. As you said, trying to get the rack as best as he possibly can. He's not doing a bad job so far, to be fair. No slug racks as of yet, so stop giving him a hard time. Chang's not happy with this rack though, is he? You can see he's had a look and I'm not sure if he can ask for a re-rack, but he's not.
He gave a little head shake there too. I wonder what he sees. Keep an eye on that 3-ball and the 1. 3-ball goes high.
9 balls in.
Oh!
Folks, that would have counted as a win. 9-ball on the break anywhere in this format is a win. Carlo will be thrilled to have this opportunity. Dry break. But it's not as easy as it appears. That 4-ball kind of in the way if he wants to bank at the 1-9. It's certainly possible. But there's more room for error if that 4-ball isn't there. So we might see him duck here. Play a safety. It's a tough shot to turn down though, isn't it, Carl?
Yeah.
He might be trying to find a 2-way shot to where he can attack but still have coverage. We'll see.
He's gone for the thin cut. And he's not made it, and he's left Chang an open pot, but is there a way of getting on the 2? Possibly could play this slow with right hand spin.
Playing safe here?
Missed it.
They both missed it in the same fashion. The same exact spot.
Yeah,
Both players undercut that ball.
and he's left Biado a wonderful opportunity now because all he's got to do is put the 1, the 2 and the 3. And as you can see where the purple 4 is, that would be unmissable, so.
I'd find a way, Carl.
So we've been playing exactly 1 hour. And we've played 7 racks, so pace of play is not the fastest we've ever seen. Still got to judge this though. I'd love to get back out into the middle of the table, kind of where the cue ball is.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. He'd like to be back right where it is now. Kind of a touchy shot here. Easy to overshoot it and end up underneath the 3 on the wrong side of it. Also easy to undershoot it and hook yourself behind the 7-ball.
This is a nice shot. Decided he didn't want to risk playing into an area, so come off the 2nd rail. Now we get to look at Biado's rest skills. Or bridge, should I say. Not rest. Do you say rest over here?
Typically we say bridge. For the most part, it's a bridge over here. I have noticed that the rest terminology has been thrown around a little bit more in recent years.
So the mistake from Biado wasn't punished, but the mistake from Chang was, and it's back to a 2-frame gap. Biado 5, Chang 3.
So Biado, the first one to cross the 50-yard line in this match, just over halfway. We are racing to 9. This is a win by 2 format. Alternating the break. We are playing at Griff's Billiards here on Decatur in lovely Las Vegas. All matches are played on 4.5 by 9-foot diamond tables. This event is sponsored by Diamond Billiard Products, Cyclop Hyperion pool balls. That beautiful green cloth you see, that's the Andy 988 cloth. Also sponsored in part by How Tips. Check them out on facebook.com/HowQ. CUE. This event has been produced by CSI, CueSports International, and brought to you by the World Pool Billiard Association, the WPA. John Lehman satisfied with his rack in number 9, game number 9 here. Carlo going to give it a little bit of an inspection before he breaks them apart. We saw by Chang's facial expressions prior to the last break, he wasn't a big fan of what he saw. Let's see if Mr. Biado is a fan of what he sees. Opting to break a little closer towards center table. We haven't seen that a whole lot. Players generally opting to break from the left or right side rail if they don't have a break box rule being enforced. Absolutely crushes the rack, pockets a ball, pockets 2 balls.
Yeah, that works, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a really good break shot from Carlo. Wide open table.
These balls are sitting pretty. As long as you get on this 3-ball nice, and he has done, he's absolutely perfect just to roll through. I think he wanted a little angle though. He don't want to risk just rolling through because of the pace of the table, but I think he's kind of milking this one a bit. Just roll through 4 inches and you'll be happy, won't you?
Oh no.
I just can't believe what he's played there.
What was that?
All he had to do is roll through 4 inches and he can just slowly spin the 4-ball, and it weren't. I don't know why he's tried to come off the top rail. It was just baffling me. He didn't need to be that straight on the 4, did he?
Yeah, there was no reason to bring that 5-ball into the equation at all.
I was just shocked because before he was playing the shot, he was just taking a bit too long. It was like, well, what are you looking at here? Just roll through 4 inches. So will he get away with this? I mean, can he swerve it? Or can he play a little jump shot over the edge of the 4? I mean, it's not that difficult still, but he knows he's made a mistake. Well, the way he's looking there, he can just play it with a bit of right-hand side, so this isn't difficult at all. If you'd have seen him jack up to play the swerve, you know he's got to swerve the ball quite a lot, but when a player's only swerving it this much, this is pretty much a hanger.
Doesn't want to hit it too hard though. It could follow forward. I've seen that once or twice. He handled it nicely.
Yeah, he dodged the bullet there. You would say that was a nice roll there.
Yeah, I don't understand why he brought the 5 into the play at all there, but maybe he thought he could just go forward and completely avoid that 5. Maybe he just misjudged it.
Yeah, who knows, but it's done with now, isn't it? Luckily for Carlo, contact on the 5, you know, it could have been worse.
So Carlo looking good here to take a 6-3 lead over Chang, barring any mental error here. As I was just saying about a mental error, do not understand that one either.
No, this is really thin now, isn't it? So it's thin to the bottom right, it's thin to the right-hand middle pocket. He might have to play a bank shot, you know. So this rack, there's still a bit of life left in it. You kind of feel it's a big shot, this and all, don't you?
Yeah, this is definitely an important rack, important shot. He's looking at chopping the paint off this ball and cutting it to our lower right.
It's a 3-game swing.
I think if in his mind he's 100% that he can pocket this ball, then he should shoot it to that corner. If there's anything less than 100%, I like banking it to the left side, taking the cue ball kind of down by the Andy Cloth logo right here. And if I don't make it, at least I'm hoping for some sort of separation and a difficult shot for my opponent.
Well, he's playing your shot. He's going for the bank. Could fluke it in opposite middle, and he's missed it, and he's left it. Folks, well, it's come off a little bit further than I thought, but he should still, you fancy him to get this, but what a swing in the match we've had here. Should have been 3 racks in front, and if Chang can get this 9-ball in the tray, he's just 1 behind.
And breaking.
And he has done. Wow, what a turning point there. A lifeline Chang never thought he were going to have there.
Big swing right there. Chang back within 1. Both players opting to take a break. Carl and I will do the same. Folks, we'll be back in just a moment.
Team, you ready? 5-4.
So after the little timeout break, it's 5-4 Biado, and I'm sure he was thinking about that in his little 5-minute break there. Probably thinking I should have been 6-3 up. What a mistake. We were a little bit shocked at that one, weren't we, Ben?
Yeah, that was a little bit of an unexpected turn to that rack. Carlo could have had a healthy lead going into rack 10. Instead, he's only up 1, and Chang is breaking. So Chang with the opportunity to tie the scoreline back up here. Parks the cue ball, gets kicked, and then parked again.
The 4-ball again, the 4-ball off the break in this match.
We've seen the,
it's
the
had so
purple
much.
spoil the party a couple of times now.
Yeah, it's coming along last minute, rolling in front of the cue ball. The dreaded 4-ball. And he had a shot, didn't he, if that didn't land there, so.
What do you do here, Carl?
Well, he's looking at kicking one rail, I mean.
It's not the worst decision.
No, I mean.
There might be a better one out there, but the 8-ball makes the corner pocket a bit bigger, which increases his chances of making this. He's just got to make sure he hits it.
Do you know what I like doing in that instance? I don't think it's a hanger. So.
Push for the jump behind the 9.
Or push into the kick and maybe see if your opponent fancies a go of it. It's a hard kick shot, that, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
You're not guaranteed to get on the 4 for a start. He's just kind of got down and as if it was a bit of a frustration shot. But
kind of looked at maybe pushing up behind the 9, giving a little bit of a better angle. You'd still be hooked on the 2, but if you were able to jump it, you could use the 8 as a big backboard to help pocket the 2.
Yeah.
On that jump shot.
I think worst thing you can do in an instant like that is give your opponent ball in hand straight away after the mistake he's just made. You've got to make him, you know, work for it a bit more.
See, Carlo kind of took a brief look at that 5-9. We can see it's off angle. He did take a quick look at it. I wonder if he'll nudge the 5 here and try to manufacture something. So he was able to clear the 5 away from the 9, ensuring a shot on the 5 in the upper right. So I'm not going to make any early judgments or assumptions. We have been proven wrong numerous times, but this is a fairly inviting looking last 4 or 5 balls. Would imagine Carlo, he's going for his extension here. I'll be spin this naturally, a little bit of low right hand English.
So we're approaching the back end of this match now, so it's important time, so these mistakes, gotta get rid of them. Should be all right. Yeah, he's stretching a little bit, but 8-ball, as you can see, nicely over the left pocket, so pretty much land anywhere. It's that fat, didn't it? Really fat. Wow, I'm surprised it went in at that pace, to be honest. So landed not perfect, but you fancy him to make this 9, but you can just sense he's a bit edgy. But he makes it, and he gets back to that 2 frame up, and Chang's missed a trick there a little bit, you feel.
So Biado leading by 2 racks here, 6-4 over Yulong Chang. We are racing to 9. This is single elimination. The loser gets $5,000 and a thank you for trying. The winner moves on to play in the finals against Kevin Chang. That will be taking place at 6 o'clock our time here in Las Vegas. That's 2 hours and 40 minutes from now. Immediately following this match, we will have the finals of our consolation event. Niels Fyen, the Terminator, versus the Hitman Homan, Thorsten, aka Toasty. John Lehman doing what he does, making sure these players get a good, fair, nice, tight rack. John Lehman also certainly no stranger to being in front of a camera. The man's been in Hollywood, show business, I should say, his whole life.
Yeah, has he done any famous shows, something that I would know of?
I was informed earlier today that he's been on Saturday Night Live on more than one occasion. Now, whether or not that's accurate or whether or not Jason Kane was pulling my leg, I don't know, but I'm curious to find out.
That's come from Jason, yeah?
Yes, sir.
That he was pulling your leg.
He's known to do that.
Yeah, he's he likes making some crazy stories up, does the Kiwi. So Biado moves cue ball over, breaking with a loop bridge. Do believe he's going to pop this cue ball back, try and stop it in the middle of the table.
Is that what you call that, a loop bridge?
Yeah, loop bridge. What a difference. I mean, I'm a big fan of the referee racking.
It's certainly changed the way things have been playing out. We've seen less predictable results on the break.
Yeah, I just don't like the players manipulating the rack how they want it, wing ball flying in and keep running out. I do see it as an unfair advantage. And now I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, well, learn how to rack.
No, I wasn't going to say that. Matter of fact, I agree with you. No, I completely agree with you. I don't think you should have to learn any tricks. I think it should be an honest attempt and an honest rack every time. Now, there is benefit in understanding the rack, in a situation like this when someone else is racking for you. If you understand what little gaps and slivers between object balls and how they affect the opening of the rack, if you understand that, you definitely have an advantage. But I'm not saying that you should.
Well, see, what I like is I like the fact that somebody like Jeffrey DeLuna, even if you give him a bad rack, the way he breaks, he will get them balls moving, won't he?
Oh, yeah.
So I think the break, I think everyone should be slamming the break as hard as you can, and I think the skill would be in how hard you can hit them and can you control the white as well. But it's open for debate. It's all opinions. That's all, folks. Just opinions.
I'll spot you 1 mile an hour, Carl, on the break.
You better hope you can hit him 35, brother.
I can.
Now it's another mistake from Chang. Didn't want to nudge the 5, and now he's going to have to play this thin all the way up the table. There you see. Just a bit of reassurance that when a player comes round, he knows the pocket's not moved. It's been there a very long time. But you kind of just want to look right behind the potting angle. That's all he's doing. And he's overdone it. He's having a mare. He's kind of just lost his way a bit in this match. He's had opportunities from the get-go. He's had opportunities in the middle of the match, and he's still getting opportunities. And it's 6-4.
I'm not exactly sure what Carlo's going to do here. I can't see him attack. I can't see him attacking to the upper right. It's just too risky of a cut shot, especially elevated over another ball.
Is he trying to get cue ball towards? Yeah, he is. He's under it this though. I think he's under it. Still amazes me. We're on day 6 or 7 of stage 1 and 2, and speed of the table is still catching me out. Day 8, I've just been informed. There you go. It's all catching me out. Vegas is truly winning. We got the day off tomorrow here in Vegas, so you can expect a few Jaegers flying down the neck.
I know we got a. Do you have tomorrow off?
Oh yes.
Don't you have a meeting tomorrow night?
Forget the meeting. No, I'm only joking, Emily, if you're listening. So he did get the snooker there, didn't it? That looks like he can see that 5 ball. That's incredible.
He's trying to pocket this to the upper right, maybe.
Needs some friends off the 8 or the 7. He's left a gap, I think. Yeah, and you can just see off his body language. That always gives you a good indication. Are you a fan of the Jaeger bomb, Ben?
I've been known to, not so much in recent years, but yes, that was one of my favorites a couple of years back. Kind of slowed down on that whole scene a little bit. Settled down, Carl. I got married. Kind of had to.
Yep.
At some point, I had to grow up, and I don't want to say you can't be a grown-up and drink, but me personally, it's just better if I keep my eyes clear, if you will.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, you know, I'm the same. Got myself 2 children. Lovely lady back home in Blackpool. I
didn't know you had kids.
2 kids, pal, yeah.
Good for you. That's cool.
Yeah.
Wife and I have been talking about it. I think we might do a...
What, she wants to have kids with me? Oh, it's all fun and games in this match.
You know, if she met you, Carl, she might. You are a bit of a...
Let's see a picture, buddy.
She hears that accent and I'm gone.
I might be staying in Vegas.
Something about American women loving that European, English, British, any combination of the above. They love those accents.
So back to the match. Carlo is back to 3 racks in front. 7-4.
7-4. I believe it's Chang's break now.
That's my daughter's birthday party today.
Is it?
Yeah. She is 8 on Sunday, and it was her party today. So naturally, I'm going to have a party tonight for her.
There you go. That's what the Jaeger talk is about. It's your part of the party. Getting back to the accent thing, since we probably have a moment to speak, you're probably aware that, do I word this politically correct? You've probably noticed some attraction or talk about your accent. It probably gets brought up to you when you speak with American women. It's probably a...
Just be careful, I'm a married man, Ben.
No. I'm not trying to get you in any... What I'm getting at is, in the flip side of that, when Americans come over to, say, Europe, is our accent a topic of conversation or a topic of attraction to the European folks.
I wouldn't know. I'm not a man of the world.
Yeah, you kind of are. I think you kind of beat the world at one point or two in this game too. Yeah, just curious. I know that.
No, I would imagine there's some of that kind of thing going on.
Obviously, I feel like I don't have an accent. You probably feel like you don't either. Where you come from, it's not an accent. It's how everybody speaks.
I actually think I've got a bad accent, to be fair. But I don't know. You just feel Chang needs an easy layout here because he's kind of lost the plot a little bit, and he hasn't got an easy layout. Not sure if he can bank this in between. No, you would think the 5 ball's in the way, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think so. I see what you're looking at, but maybe if he's able to bank it to the lower half of the pocket, that's a super tall order.
Oh, I've just spotted it. It goes off the 4 ball in the middle. Excuse my poor knowledge there. Spotted it in the end, though.
I apologize, folks. I got an amateur in the booth with me.
Spotted it in the end, though. It's all this talk of accents putting me off my job. It's the thought of all these American women liking the northern English accent.
Don't get yourself in trouble now, pal.
That looks, I thought that looked a bit wide travelling down, but it's all right. Needs another good shot here, though. Sometimes you can see these type of shots missed. Must win rack, of course, because if he was to lose this, Biado would be on the hill with a big lead. So this will just keep him in touching distance. And he will know Biado's not killing the break like in previous matches. So, you know, there's still a lot of pool left to play yet. So just knock these 4 balls in. Just do your job. Get it to 7-5. Again, he's whinging about his angle here, isn't he? And that's because of where that 9 ball sat. Can he just play this and miss the 9 below with a bit of right hand spin?
Can't tell if there's enough room between the 9 and the rail. Yep. Ooh, wow, he hit that really good. That was very close.
So you were saying you've reined your partying days in a little bit. Is that because the wife's put the locks on, or?
No, not so much.
No.
Matter of fact, my wife,
she still parties.
she's a
right?
card dealer, so she works in casinos, and she
which
works
casino?
She works nights. She's actually a party pit dealer. She doesn't work for any one casino in particular. She's contracted along with a handful of other, dare I say, model type women in town. They dress them up a little scandally, if you will,
Right.
and have them deal and be eye candy at the same time.
Sounds like my type of deal.
Yeah, I think you'd have a good time at whatever table she's dealing at.
As long as I'm winning.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I am not allowed to play when she's dealing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Rightfully so. We're no cheaters, but that's a good way to prevent it.
So Chang answered the question, played a nice shot on the 1 ball into a big pocket off the 4. And he'll just be sat there hoping Biado doesn't get an easy layout, of course.
Well, we've seen a little bit of dissatisfaction on the face of Biado in regards to the rack. I don't think it's anything John Lehman's doing wrong. I think it's just something that Carlo Biado might be doing differently when he typically racks. He's able to get that wing ball in every time, whereas he's been struggling and having to change his break point here and there throughout this match. So we're an hour and 33 minutes into this match. Probably be pushing this right near the 2-hour time limit, as we did with our last match, and as expected. We don't expect any blowouts, and these players aren't playing foolishly fast, being smart about their pace. I think one day it would be fun to commentate on a match with Alex Lely.
Yeah, my pundit buddy from Holland. We did the Masters. Very knowledgeable guy.
Yes, he is.
So he does try this break, so it is on, as he made 2 balls. He has. So it's legal, but bad news, the 1 ball got kicked, didn't it, up onto the centre of the top rail. Usually it comes over towards this corner, as we've seen. So all Chang can do is pray he gets opportunities. That's all you can do. And you would think he is going to get back to the table, albeit he might be in a bad spot. You can see the 8, the 3 and the 6 is a big wall of balls. There you go. So he's splitting, but he needs the 1 ball to slow down, and I think he's all right. So he was playing into a big area there, as you can see, the 3 and the 6. If you look down the parallel line of the yellow 1 and the cue ball, he's got a wide line there, hasn't he?
Yep.
Rather than 1 ball, he's got 2 balls.
He's got part of the 6 ball and all of the 3 ball. That's great camera work there.
Yeah, there you go. You can see the 6 and the 3. That makes that line.
You can see the camera helps you lose 10 pounds. Lehman looking fantastic as always.
Cue ball's close.
Have a little fun with him.
Yeah. Wasn't a million miles away off the jump shot. Just hit it a bit fat. That was all.
So Biado with ball in hand here in rack number 13 and the opportunity to get to the hill first. We'll see if he can navigate his way through these 7 balls and earn himself a spot in the finals. Excuse me, earn himself a shot at the finals here in about 2.5 hours. Earlier today, we saw Kevin Chang defeat Johan Chua. Kevin Chang will be in the finals playing the winner of this match. So will it be an all Taiwanese final, or will we have some representation from the Philippines as well?
Lost the cue ball a little bit too far there, so he's going to have to come out with a shot now. A little bit straighter, and he couldn't fail to get on this 6. Now he's going to have to, there you see. Obviously, he can't just roll the 4 ball on and off the rail because of where that 7 ball is, so he's striking low on the cue ball. Oh, he's played that well. He's found that little gap in between ball and pocket.
Less than a diamond of rail space for that shot there. Very well controlled. Not one of my favorite shots to attempt. I seem to either pull it back a little too much and end up in the side pocket, or not quite enough and end up stuck behind the 7. Carlo did very, very well. Again, opting to play that 2-rail forward position. We saw it cost him earlier on in the match. But Carlo 3 balls away from the hill. perfect on this 8-ball. Just snatch it back about 1.5 feet or 2. And he'll be in ideal position for the 9 to your lower left.
Yes, it's going to be point of no return for Chang. And Biado's out there to spoil an all-Taiwanese final. But we've seen it in both semi-finals, Taiwan versus Philippines. So why not see the final? Biado is on the hill, folks. Chang has got it all to do.
This is day 4 of the WPA Players Championships here in Las Vegas. Beautiful Griff's Billiards. We had 4 days of qualifiers. Now we've had 4 days of stage 2. We've narrowed it down to the final 4 coming into today. There are 3 players left at this moment. When this match is done, we will have our last 2 contestants. Immediately following this match, we will have the finals of our consolation event. For the 32 players who lost in the first round of stage 2, they were invited to a consolation event with cash prizes as well. Looking around the room, I see both players practicing for that match. We're going to have the Terminator, Niels Fein, versus the Hitman, Thorsten Homan. That will be taking place right here as soon as this match is done, or 4 o'clock, whichever the latter is.
Our co-commentator, the Kiwi Kid, will be back in the booth for that match.
Good old Jason King.
Do believe you're starting that match with him, Ben, so I can eat my salad.
Is that how it's going to happen?
That's what
You
it
know
said
what
on the roster.
Whatever I can do to please Carl. I'm just playing, pal. If you want to step out, be my guest. John Lehman taking his time here, not in a negative fashion, but I actually kind of applaud it. He's ensuring that he gives both players a fair and tight rack each and every time. Not settling for anything less than what he feels is perfect, which I applaud. Chang taking a good little study at it. Try to figure out where he wants to break from, opting for our right-hand side rail as we view the screen right now. Chang's going to need them all going forward in order to keep himself in this match.
9-ball off the
And
snap.
we've got a golden break. That
Wow.
counts. So, we haven't seen a whole lot of those. We have seen a few, but Chang will absolutely take the gift and the freebie. I'm going to go ahead and address our sponsors. You can see them across the top of your screen, but a little verbal acknowledgement never hurt. We are coming to you live from Griff's Billiards here in Las Vegas. This event is sponsored by Predator Cues, Master Chalk, Diamond Billiard Products. We are playing on 9-foot diamond tables with Andy 988 green cloth. Players are also getting to take full advantage of the new Cyclop Hyperion pool balls. Master Chalk, I believe. Also want to give mention to How Tips, H-O-W. Check them out on Facebook at facebook.com/HowQ, C-U-E. This event is being produced by CueSports International, CSI, and brought to you by the WPA World Pool Billiard Association. Carlo Biado to break rack 15, leading by a score of 8-6. This is a win by 2 format. If we end up tied at 11 racks apiece, there will be a single rack playoff determined by a lag. See who breaks. Carlo would love, absolutely love, to do what Chang just did. We have not seen 2 back-to-back golden breaks in this tournament. Could we see our first? Two balls down.
It's an illegal break.
Nothing across the head string.
Yeah, it's an illegal break. Wow. Yeah, that was ultra soft. That's always the danger with that break, of course.
Now, if you don't understand what just happened, folks, and the reason Biado's not at the table still, we have a 3-point rule in effect for the break shot. 3 balls must cross the head string and or be pocketed. Any combination of the 2 is fine. We saw he pocketed 2 balls there, but he did not get another object ball across the head string. Chang has the option to take this on or pass it back. Chang elects to take it on, pockets the 2 ball, gets a little bit close to his work here on the red 3. See what he can work out here.
Yeah, it was a poor shot, really.
He really hasn't looked as comfortable as we've seen him earlier, has he, Carl?
No, I mean, he had such a big margin for error there. I know the 2 ball was over the pocket, so it's always, you know, you've always got to try and judge it. I think he's trying to make the 6 ball here, bank the 3 ball off this side over towards the 6, and he's missed it. Has to be said, another opportunity that he's not took.
Where did that cue ball come to rest? I think it's okay, but at first glance, you might think that point is in the way. There we go, it's a good view. So we can see it's not frozen to it. It does appear as though he can see. Boy, what a great angle. So we know he can see full ball, but can he see the right side of it? And by full ball, I mean the face of the ball. This will be a very telling shot right here.
It's a good shot, isn't it? And he's controlled it well.
Very nicely handled.
What a chance for rack and match to put himself into the final. The final, of course, will be at 6 o'clock. Chang Yulong has played very well in this tournament so far, but he's come up a little bit short in this semi-final. He's made many mistakes, it has to be said. Elected to go rail first there because he knew the natural path of the cue ball would go nowhere near the 8 ball. That's not bad. Yeah, he'd like to have been a little bit straighter, but it's basically this 8 ball, his match ball. And there it is, folks. Carlo Biado is into the final.
Carlo defeats Yulong Chang by a score of 9-6. We will have a next match here in 12 minutes. Over to Ted Lerner for a little post-game interview with our winner, Carlo Biado.
The Philippines' Carlo Biado through to the finals here at the WPA Players Championship at Griff's in Las Vegas, and with a 9-6 win over Chang Yulong. And congratulations, Carlo. You started out, you were behind 2-0, and you didn't look comfortable. How did you get yourself back in the match?
You know, this match I'm not comfortable because my break is not good, and also, but I'm thinking I want to play in the final because my teammate, he lost in the first match. That's why I like to win in this match.
Yeah, you really turned it around, and you were playing great. How did you manage to turn it around? There was a point there where in the match where you gave up the table. It was supposed to be 6-3, and then you gave up the table to 5-4. I thought maybe there you were gonna he was gonna tie you. How did you manage to turn it all around?
Well, you know, that game, I'm a little bit struggle because my break is not good, and also, you know, that's why I missed the nine. I missed the easy position for the 9 ball in the maybe a 9th round, like that, 9 racks. That's why I lost my game. But I need to swagger.
Well, speaking of swagger, that I did notice that you have plenty of swagger. You are not afraid to take on shots that are very dangerous and very, difficult to take. I mean, you seem like you're a player who is really in stroke right now and really overall feels good about the way you're playing.
Well, I need to do that, but because I told you I need to win this match. That's why I want to be strong. I need a heart here in this match.
Well, you certainly have a heart, a very big heart, Carlo, and you're through to the final. So Kevin Chang, have you played him recently?
Yeah, many times in the Open, anywhere in the in the world, in a tournament, China Open, but many times I lost to him in the tournament. But maybe this time I'm gonna beat him. I hope I'm gonna beat him. I need a heart in this game.
Okay, Carlo, congratulations. You're through to the final here at the WPA Players Championship, and we'll see you in a little while.
Thanks, Ted.